Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Napoli Comedy Hour. Today, we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Regina DeCicco. She's done lots of comedy shows in her lifetime by herself and with the Italian chicks, but she has such a great resume on things she's done behind the scenes. So let's bring her back on. Here it is.
Shows her a
Hi,
lot.
Regina. Let me see. Where are you? There she is.
Here I am.
Hi, Regina. How are you?
Did we do it? This took a lot, Tony. This took a lot for some reason.
I know. I need to see your full face. Right now, I don't see your mouth. Is that because of social distancing? Are you covering your
No,
mouth?
it shouldn't be. You can always
There it
hear
is.
my
There it
mouth.
is.
Is that better? Oh, good. You can always hear the mouth, but I want people need to see the mouth.
That's right. So, how have you been?
Oh, crazy. I feel like everybody else with my husband in the apartment, and that's been tough. Like I keep saying, we ran out of stuff to talk about on day 3 of this quarantine, right? Like no new
Absolutely.
information.
Now, it's been tough for everybody in our industry.
Yeah.
How have you coped? Have you done any? Obviously, no live shows, but anything on by Zoom or any in
Yeah.
person
You know what?
already?
At first I thought like I'm not going to do Zoom shows, but then I started to think, what else am I going to do? So I've done like Instagram live, Zoom shows. I actually did a show in a drive-in parking lot. So I did do one live
That
show, Tony.
I think that's the only way we could do shows right now.
Yeah.
It-
Shows, but then I started to think, what else am I going to do? I think so too.
right. And so we known each other for quite a few years now by working with the Italian chicks,
Yes.
and you're still very much a part of it. But you do so much.
Yes.
Uh, I know your resume is very impressive. I got to tell you, you worked behind the scene in one of my favorite shows, which is Saturday Night Live.
Oh boy, yes I did.
What year was that?
So when I interned there first before they hired me, and when I interned, it was Will Ferrell's last season, and when I
Wow.
worked there, it was Kristen Wiig's first season.
That must have been such a great experience for you.
Yeah, I mean the same thing like you. I was always a huge fan of the show. So that first show that I worked on, they're doing the host things. The host was actually Charlie Sheen was my first
Oh,
host.
wow.
So he was thanking the audience, thanking the musical guest. They're playing the music at the end of the show, and I just started to cry because I couldn't believe I was there.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's such a fantastic experience. But I mean, you get to meet some of the top actors and politicians every day.
Yes.
Because for people that don't know, you warm up the audience at the View
Yes.
on a daily basis. So, do they have any plans to do the live shows anytime soon?
I think they're hoping September. Maybe they'll be able to get back in the studio. But the problem is too, like, will it be safe to have an audience? I mean, it all depends what
Right.
happens now as the phases continue. But like, will it be safe? Will people want to be around each other? I think that's why for us now, it's so like for any entertainment, it's a very scary time.
Right. And how long have you been there? You've been a few
The
couple of
the
years, no?
since 2018, November 2018.
So how was it like to work with such different personality right in that panel?
You know what? Honestly, I love it because I think it keeps it exciting. You never know what's going to happen. I love live TV. Like back even from Saturday Night Live. I love when it's live, when it matters, everything that matters, it happens in real time. You can't go back, you don't rewind. So I think it's actually fun. It's exciting, and I think the audience loves it. They love that energy.
Now, do you ever witness anything crazy that goes maybe before the show, after the show, or maybe even during commercial break? Does it ever get heated during those times,
I mean,
or is
when the
more like you
ladies,
just save it for television?
right. I want to say when the ladies have a discussion, it's real. They're not acting.
Yeah,
They're really discussing it. So they discuss it, for real. And then, they have to work it out. But I think that's kind of what's so appealing about The View, because it's like you have a friend that you love. And especially now, I feel like we all have family where we disagree. So it's like
yeah.
you have that fight and then you come together. So I feel like the ladies are sort of saying, fight with your family, yell it out, and then come back together.
And I gotta tell you, I think since I've been to in America about 30 years. I think this is, without getting to merits of politics, but I think I never seen it so the parties being such antagonistic to each other.
Yeah.
You know, to the point that I think that for Thanksgiving, knives should be abolished.
No, I think it's true, because normally it's like, I think normally people will say, "Oh, agree to disagree," and I think this is the first time where it's like, "Oh, no, 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 not anymore. Now we got to figure this out." I agree with you, Tone. It feels different this time. It feels
Yeah.
different.
So now I'm sure I know that you've done not only warmed up for the View, but you also did the Democratic. You're going to be doing, I think, or
The
you've done.
debate. So I did.
You're
I
doing
want to
it,
say,
right?
I think it was the last live debate because it was in February, and then I think after
Yeah.
that they stopped doing them with audiences. So yeah, it was at St. Anselm College in New Hampshire. So it was the Democratic debate. No, so that was a wild experience because I feel like I'm a comedian. I do silly
Yeah.
characters. I tell fart jokes, and then I was like, wait, ABC wants to send me to the debate for president.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is crazy. And this is back when everybody was still in the race. So it was like still like Bernie, Warren, Yang, Buttigieg, like Klobuchar. This is like the whole gang was there. This was the
Yeah.
whole gang. So it was a wild, it was just fun. It was a crazy, I'm so glad that I did it. It was completely different than anything I've ever done. And it felt important, which I liked, like maybe you're witnessing history. So like that was a fun thing for me.
I got to tell you, and I won't get into politics, but I tend to look more into the candidate, as a person
Right.
versus, um, versus the party. You
Right.
know,
I understand what you're
uh,
saying.
so I always try to be that way. Uh, so now, uh, let me ask you a question
Sure.
because you have toured by yourself. I mean,
Yes.
you've done a lot of comedy, stand-up comedy. As a matter of fact, one of the uh, biggest comedy in the country is the Gotham Comedy. You've been there quite often, and you
Yes.
also did a television. How was that experience?
That was what, so when I first did Gotham Comedy Live, it was funny because they sent me the dates to do it. And they were like, "Oh, Regina, would you want to do it this Wednesday?" And it was the Wednesday after I got married.
Oh wow!
And it was funny because we went to Vietnam on our honeymoon, so we didn't go right after the wedding. So I was free, and then actually we family from Italy had come in for our wedding. So I knew if I did it then, they would be able to come, the family from Italy, to Gotham. So they did. So it was funny because they said when I speak English fast, they were like, "Regina, we did not catch a word that you said," but they said it looked like everybody thought you were funny. So that first one I did right like the Wednesday after we got married on Sunday, and then Wednesday I did Gotham Comedy Live.
Wow, that was what a week.
Yeah, right,
You should have
exactly.
said
It
to your
was
husband, "Listen, we're gonna postpone it. I got to do the comedy club. That's it."
right, just because it felt like let's ride the wave of the wedding. Let's have it was great to have the cousins there from Italy. So it was like let's do it. Let's do it all together. Let's keep this party going. So it was fun. So that was, but it's exciting, and that was live. That was live TV. So
No,
it was fun.
I tell you, live TV it's a more like nerve wracking
Yes.
because you got to make sure that everything goes perfect.
Right. I think you
I got
love
a
it or
lot of
you
people saying hello. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say, I think with live TV, I think you love it or you hate it. Like it either brings out the best in you or it's too scary. Like I would say, I don't think it's for everybody, but like I happen to love it.
I have a question. You're not.
Sure.
I got a lot of people saying hello, but a lot of people are hearing a typing noise. Uh, I'm not sure where that comes from. I got Christina Marie says Regina is great. Uh, Maria Abraham says hello. Yolanda, Rosanna. A lot of people are following us live.
Well, hi
Uh,
everybody. I hear the noise a little bit too. Do you hear it
yeah,
or
I'm
no?
not sure where that comes from in the background.
Because it
Uh,
doesn't sound like typing. It sounds a little like I like crackling. Is that what they're hearing? I
yeah,
hear it, but I don't know where it's coming from.
yeah, same here. I don't think it's my microphone. Let I'll try to adjust it a little bit. Uh, okay, like this.
I can still hear you.
Okay, so I don't think it's my microphone then. I'm not sure where that noise is coming
I
from.
like that you have your sunglasses
Uh,
on, by the way.
I have to. I
I
have
keep
to.
laughing. I'm like, what's happening over there?
Well, it's a. It started as a joke, and the last couple of years, and everybody's always so you gotta wear glasses. It's like uh, you know, not that anybody recognizes me. The only time
Right.
anybody ever stopped in the street, this is a true story. It's happened like three, four times already. Uh, I toured with I managed the Uncle Louis variety show. We went to at a diner in the middle of the night, and this waitress came up to us, and they're getting ready to say hello.
Right.
Excuse me, are you it? I'm like, I'm sorry, are you DJ Khaled? So that's
That's it.
basically my fame is somebody else's. So
So funny. Oh, I might try
uh,
my earbuds. Maybe that will help.
possibly. Margaret De Leone says hello.
Hello.
Let me see. Oh, okay? I can't see you right now.
No,
But like
I
I said,
don't
a
think
lot
the
of people are
earbuds are
saying
the
hello.
thing.
Okay, I don't hear the crackling right now.
Okay, good.
Oh, a little, but and yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Um, so, so I was gonna say you've been doing the warming up. How is the difference between you doing your solo show versus the doing the show with the Italian chick?
So I want to. I mean, everything is so different. So like the Italian chicks, I do that like crazy character, my like crazy mob wives character. So I come out and that like I get to be. It's like it's almost an amazing thing. Like I get to be wild. That character gets to say whatever she wants to do. So like I love doing that character. That's like one thing. And then I feel like stand up is different. Warm up, it's a totally different ball game because I get you come in and the audience is excited to be there, which is great. You don't always get that. Like sometimes regular stand up, you show up and people are like, "All right, make me laugh." Like, but warm up, you get that people are excited. They're excited. They love the view. Some people, maybe it's like a bucket list item. And sometimes it's like people's birthdays. So that it's almost like people come in excited, like they come in here and then like, I want to get them up here and I want to keep them excited like for the whole show. So that I feel like that's a big difference for me. Like it feels different. But then the thing with the view that's different is like I would never be at a stand-up show where like something would happen or something would be like a sad topic. Because even the view, like sometimes a segment could be really sad. And then I have to like come out during the commercial, and try to get people excited again. So it has a different set of challenges.
Now, it's funny because you've done so much in the background, right? For Saturday Night Live, you also worked on the comedy on the sitcom with Whoopi,
Right.
right? But me knowing you, you should be out there. You're like such a strong personality.
Oh,
I don't even
thanks.
see you anything but in front. You know,
Thank you.
and you worked. I mean, you've done stand up with. You've been in the same stage. You share a lot stage with a lot of incredible comedians and actors. Just to cite some of them, Lisa Lampanelli is one.
Yeah.
How was she? Because she's a personality
She's
too.
she's great. She's like a. Can we curse on this show, or we keep it
Yeah,
clean?
no problem.
Okay, so I want to say,
No,
so
no,
we
no. Go ahead.
I did a show at the Friars Club with Lisa Lampanelli, and my grandfather came, and he was, I want to say, like 99 years old at the time. So we do the show. I
Wow.
know it's wild. So she comes over to my grandpa after he's telling her it's a good show. And then she said to him, she said, of all the old fucks in this place, you're my favorite. So then
Wow.
we So he
Now,
said, look at
is
this
it?
guy. He's 99. He's getting
Yeah.
around. He's hanging with Lisa Lampanelli. But like she's a really warm person. I think what people think of her is kind of different than who she is in person, I would say.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is it grandfather was off the boat, or is he off the boat?
Was he what?
Off the boat, because I know you.
No,
When you
so my father was born in Italy.
yeah,
My dad. But then
yeah,
this is my mom's dad. He was born here. His parents were born in Italy.
I got you. Where's your father from?
Reggio Calabria.
Oh God, another Calabrese testadura.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Actually, I mean, I've been to Reggio Calabria many times. Uh, I have
It's
family over there as well, so I used to travel from Sicily.
Oh, that's what
I
we were supposed to go this summer,
yeah,
but now what are you gonna do?
right. And so the other thing is this. I mean, you worked with Nick DePaola, Gottfried, which is another great comedian.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of the comedians I've interviewed have worked with him, and everybody said the same thing. It's a great guy.
Right.
Yeah. And everybody's got a story about him for some reason.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean he's just like a wacky little, almost like a caricature of a person. It's just funny. I feel like he's like, this is what I am, and this is what I do, and I have my crazy voice. It's almost he's like a wild person to me because he almost doesn't feel like he's a real person. It feels like a caricature of a person. So it was, it was, and the same thing. It's funny. My parents brought Gilbert Gottfried to see me too, and then we have pictures of Gilbert with my grandpa after, and it was like a little hard for my grandpa to walk, so they're almost like holding hands in the picture, which is like not. You don't think of that human side of comedians sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's like they like they're people and they're really sweet. So it was the show I did with him was funny too. But he's definitely just like he has his style. And he just like does his stuff. It's funny.
And one of my favorite characters from The Sopranos, Dominic Canese.
Oh my goodness, yes. So Dominic, it was funny. I met him. They were doing 100th birthday party for Ronzoni Pasta at the Friars Club. So the pasta was having a birthday party. And
Okay.
then someone said, right, of course, why wouldn't they? And then my
We're such
family's in the
individuals
supermarket.
in Italians. It's always about food.
Right. We're like, oh, we'll give food a party so we can have more food. That's what they do.
Exactly.
Right. So they have this birthday party for Ronzoni, and the family business is supermarkets. So a family friend said, this is perfect. Like Regina should go. The Friars Club is about entertainment. Send Regina. So what they did was, so my husband and I went to this event, to Ronzoni birthday party. And then Dominic, he has his guitar. He's walking around. He's strumming. He's singing. So I went over just to say hello, to say like I've always been such a big fan. So he grabs my face and he's like, look at you, look at this face. He's like, what are you? You some kind of an actress? What do you do? What do you do? So, I said to him, oh, like actually I do comedy. And he was like, you got to join the club. You got to join this club. We put on shows. And then, so he was like instrumental in me joining the Friars Club because he thought it would be such a great idea. And then he was funny because he had this idea where we would put on a show where he would be my grandfather in the show and I was his granddaughter and I wanted to do comedy, but he didn't want me to do comedy. But then I get up in the show to tell jokes. So he puts this show on at the Friars Club. But what was funny is everybody afterwards was like, I didn't realize you were Dominic's granddaughter. And then in my head, I'm like, no, it's part of the show. But then I thought, am I an amazing actress? That everyone thought, they just assumed he was my grandpa.
Oh wow. I gotta tell you, a lot of people don't know about Dominic is that he's such a wonderful singer.
Yes, it's
Did
amazing.
you ever have a chance to hear him sing?
Yeah, and he sings in dialect. He sings all in Italian. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
a lot
really
of Neapolitan
soulful, and
songs.
it really means a lot to him. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But this is the weird part. It, I don't know. I've seen a lot of movies he's done in the past. Was he always old?
Right. I know it's really it's really funny. It was funny to go back and watch because I think Godfather 2 opens with him. Right? Is he
Yeah.
in? Is that the where it's funny? You're like, oh my god, what? You don't realize like before The Sopranos.
And he was old
Yeah,
back then.
yeah. Right, because now it's like, is he 200? How old is he now? But he's looked the same for a long
No,
time.
when you said that, when you were talking about Ronzoni's pasta being 100, I thought you were talking about
No,
Dominic.
and maybe he's older
Yeah,
than Ronzoni Pasta. We don't know.
maybe, you know. But he's such a wonderful actor. And I know, throughout the years, I worked with a lot of people from The Sopranos.
Yeah,
Some of them in a comedy settings, and other ones. Some of the interviews that I've done with them, and they all said, what a wonderful person he was in real life. Uh, Now, let me ask you a question. You also were in a movie, uh, Redskins Revenge. How was that?
yes. So this is a friend of mine. He makes a lot of independent films. So then he will use me from time to time to be a part of his. And he's actually done well and gotten a lot of awards, like independent awards. His name is Elias Plagianos. He's a director. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it is fun when once you have friends in the industry, and then they start to do more things and they're like, no, come, like, be involved in this. So, yeah, no, that was
And
fun.
what was the movie about?
It's so funny because I'm trying. You're the second person to ask, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm trying to remember because I've done a couple things with him, and I'm trying to remember which role that was that I played. This is not that my credits are so big, everybody, that I
See,
can't remember.
that's how
Know
big
that,
you are. You didn't remember
right? This I'm like,
the tons of
what
press
movie
you
was
had.
that? Right. I don't want anybody to think that.
What do you mean? So, uh, what's so? Uh, Other than the Italian chicks, you worked with the ladies of laughter. What's that? Is that something similar?
So
What's that?
actually, it's very different. I mean, it's all women, but so there's a contest called like the Ladies of Laughter contest, and they have like a professional winner and a new winner, basically. So years ago, I don't even know what year it was, I won as like a newcomer, and then I
Okay.
tour. I've been touring around with the ladies. So like, and we've gone to. It's really fun. We always say like when people think, I think they think comedy takes you to like amazing destinations, and then I think last year I went with the Ladies of Laughter to Wisconsin. So it's, I mean, you travel around, but comedy, it's not always like exotic and beautiful destinations. People should know.
You know, I mean, I people think being an actor, comedians, it's very glamorous, which could be,
Right. It could
you know,
be.
but they don't see all the other,
No,
uh,
no, because
roles you have to perform in.
I would I did colleges for a while. I would tour doing colleges. And my college agent called and he's like, oh, Regina, we have this. I got you a gig. And then it was funny because it was September 28th, but it was on our 1 year wedding anniversary. And then it was in North Dakota.
Oh
So
wow!
like, so my husband said, "I'll go with you. When else are we going to North Dakota?" But I mean, it's just it's great because we probably wouldn't have gone otherwise. But
Yeah,
it's still North Dakota.
but now let me ask you a question. For example, when you perform with Italian chicks,
Yes.
obviously your character is an Italian character. Now, do you do the same when you do the Ladies of Laughter?
No, so actually, it's funny. So my Italian set, the character that I do, I only do with the Italian chicks. And then a
Okay.
lot of those Italian jokes, unless it's an Italian themed show, which sometimes there's like a show I'll do, like the Festa della Donna show, and that's like singing and a
Yeah.
little comedy. So maybe I'll do a little more of my like Italian themed jokes. But I basically, it's almost like I operate like both shows are completely different. So if you saw me in the Italian Chicks, and then if you saw me do, I'll call it regular stand up, but that's not exactly the case. It's usually going to be a very different show. And I think for me, I kind of like that too. Like, you know, when I do the Italian Chicks, it's like I get in the zone, like I get in my head. That's like one thing. And then if I do another show, it's something else. It's
And
different.
if people haven't seen it, your character, the Italian chick, is way over the top.
Yeah, I think it's hard. It's funny because how I came up with that character was I was watching, this is years ago. I was watching a commercial for Mob Wives before the show even came out. And I was just kind of like looking at Big Ange, God rest her soul. And I was like, oh my God, like, but in my head, I was like, that's amazing. And I think we all know versions of that Italian woman. You know what I mean? Like in varying degrees. So I came up with a character that's sort of like a combination of like Mob Wives. And then I come out like hair is crazy. I have crazy eyelashes on, like really big jewelry. There's a video on my website if you guys want to check it out, just to get a taste of this
And I'm
fabulous lady.
interested, since you're pointing that out, why don't you tell our audience how can everyone find you on social media?
So I would say definitely, I mean, I'm active on Instagram. So on Instagram, it's Regina.DeCicco, DeCicco. My website is reginadecico.com, and there's some clips on there. You can see this Mob Wives character on there. I feel like you guys would enjoy it. So it's reginadecico.com. I have a fan page on Facebook, Regina DeCicco Comedian. So or Regina DeCicco Comic, I believe it is on Facebook. But yeah, I'm around. You can find me. I'm easy to find. If you can spell DeCicco, I'm easy to find. If you can't spell DeCicco, you're not gonna find me.
So how did you start with with this line of work?
I would say that I was always funny, like even as a child. But I think I took a stand-up class at the comic strip on the Upper West Side. That was how I started with comedy.
Was
So
you from New York City?
yeah, in New York City. So I think some people, not everybody likes the idea of a comedy class. Some people say you got to be out there, you got to, you know, grind your teeth, whatever, and your chops. But for me, I think if you could do a class, it's a great way to transition with support. Because the thing is, the industry will beat you down. Don't worry. But the class is just a nice way to break in. And then it's like the industry will take its course on you. Don't.
Well, and then everybody in that class is going through exactly what you're going through.
Right. I don't even know if anybody from my class is still doing stand up, to be honest.
Yeah. Believe it or not, for the first time in February, I did a few minutes of stand up myself.
How was it?
I'll tell you what, it was good. I had a good reception, so I can't complain, you know.
Good.
But it's like I did it just to cover a few minutes for the Uncle Louis show because they change characters. They have some ladies. They have Louis and Carol. They turn into ladies. So I just needed to give them some cushion of so they can change back to
Right.
the guy. And it's like it was like 5 minutes, but it felt like an
Yeah.
eternity. I'm like, when are they coming back? But it was fun. It was fun, you know.
It definitely gives you a different concept of time when it comes down to the minutes. And then when you do stand up, that you realize then how long or short time can go by fast or can go by very, very slowly.
Yeah, you know what? I think is because I needed to do those certain minutes. I couldn't,
Yeah.
you know, because I couldn't go over because that was part of the show. Just to
Right.
do those, but you know, I rehearsed. I did it like 3 times at 3 different shows. It worked out nicely, you know. I enjoy it. I don't think I'll ever do it again, but
Right. That's you're like I started and I retired stand up in
it's
one show. You took the whole journey. Now you're done.
so now let me ask you a question. If you have a girl that wants to start into the industry, what would be your advice to her?
I would definitely tell somebody to start with a class for sure. And I think I would tell people going into it, it is a long road stand up. And I think when I started stand up, I would talk to people that were pros at that point, and then they would always say, "Oh, get back to me in 10 years." And I remember thinking like, "Wait, I just started and now you're telling me I need 10 years?" in order for this to like really start to work. And what's crazy is I was at the 9-year mark when I got the job at the View. So
Oh
in
wow.
certain respects, you do need to put in that time, and it goes from sort of a hobby, then it becomes your main thing, comedy. But you have to love it, and you have to put the time in, and then you have to realize. I think I didn't realize how much time I would spend on the road. And I'm sure you know this too, because the shows are a small part of it. But like if you have a show and you have 6 hours to drive to that show, then 6 hours to get back from that show, and you're staying overnight. But the show itself is like 2 hours. So like there's so much downtime that I don't think I was ready for. I remember the first time I did a college gig in I think I was in San Diego, and you're so excited. They fly you out to San Diego. I get the rental car. I got lunch at I got like burgers for lunch. In-N-Out burger, and then I got a coffee, and then I went to the hotel, and then you're by yourself and you're waiting for the show. I just cried because you don't know what to do. It's such a funny, because you're like, I'm making it, I'm doing it, and then you're like, I'm by myself. What am I
Yeah, I
supposed
know.
to do?
And that's what it is. I mean, going back to what I said earlier,
Yeah,
people think it's such a glamorous life.
right.
Oh, you perform, they don't know everything else that goes, and then there's also promoters and promoters, because some
Yeah,
people that treat you better than others.
right.
I actually missed you, what was it, December, because I did the Italian Chicks in Rochester, but you couldn't make it. I think
Oh
you
yeah,
had
and then
to,
that was the weather, right? That was that crazy, right? Because did
yeah.
they head up in the bad weather too?
Yeah, I think there was. I know it
It
was
was like
the
a combination of
before.
things. I know that was. I always miss seeing you.
Um, so now, what do you think we should do going back? Do you think do you think with social distancing now, how is it going to turn the industry for the next couple of years at least?
I think it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's. I want to say honestly, I'm scared. I think a lot of comics are really scared because you just don't know. Because even if places open up, are people gonna feel comfortable going there? That's the issue. And then it's like I know how badly I want to perform, but then you also want to feel safe. So I think it is really scary. I think over the summer we're going to see a lot more outdoor shows, which like I'm fine with, and I think we're all just happy to perform. But I think it's going to be scary to see how clubs get back to work, and theaters too. I mean, theaters are probably even going to be longer than club. At least clubs, if it's tables, you
Correct.
can space them apart. But theaters, that's a whole nother story.
And like I'm rescheduling shows that I had in March, and how we're gonna do it. If we have to space people out,
Right,
how we're gonna do it? With people bought tickets in row A, am I gonna put them in row B? What happens to the
right,
people in row
right,
B? Everything is so confusing.
right.
I, and I think that a lot of people don't understand the severity of what's going on in our industry, because people are like, oh, okay, Regina DeCicco won't be able to perform for the next 6 months, but they don't understand that people that work in the theaters, they're out of a job right now.
Yeah,
People that doing ticket outlets, they're out
right,
of a job right
right.
now. The vendors that
Yes.
provide food, drinks, and all that, they're losing money over there. People that do sound,
Yeah.
people that do lights. There's so many people that are
Yeah.
affected by it, which it's a huge chunk of our population. When almost everybody, even
Yeah.
restaurants, you go to a theater, you go to
Sure.
the restaurant next
Yes.
door to the theater around the area, those people are getting
Hmm.
affected. So the sooner we start, the better it's for everybody. But I do understand why we need to be very
Right.
careful with everything that's going on.
No, you're exactly, because even like when you think of like Broadway, to your point, it's like the restaurants, then the hotels, then
Right.
everybody that runs the theater. I mean, not that this is. I was just talking to somebody today, and he's in a wedding band, and like I did. it wasn't even crossing my mind. Like wedding music, they lost the whole wedding season.
Right.
So it's oh,
Those are the same people, like in Italy when you get favors.
right.
The people, the flower shops,
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
There's
It's
so many little things that get affected
yeah.
that it's way bigger than what we can
Right.
comprehend.
No, it's when you realize how many people it affects, it's such a no, it's crazy because shows keep people, employed, and a lot of people jump from show to show, and now it's like there's no shows, like even Broadway, off Broadway, that doesn't exist for anybody. And I mean, same for comedians. There's just not. Yeah, no, it's a rough time. I think for anybody that's in a creative, like performance kind of profession. I think then people are rethinking like, what should I do? But do I change my path? But I don't think a lot of us wanted, we worked hard to be here, so I think we want to fight it out, but we don't know what the future holds.
And also such an uncharted territory
Yeah.
that nobody knows. It's not like we basically have no guidance
Right.
because if you have a restaurant, okay, you have the option to do a takeout maybe. I mean, it's all very hard for the restaurants, you know,
Yes.
waiters and all that. But at least right now they're 25 to 50% capacity, and you can make food for takeout. So
Right.
we really are we're basically in the middle of a storm, and we don't know where land is.
Right. No, it's exactly true because there's no sort of like middle ground for us. There's some, but even the Zoom shows and only a performer gets to perform. That doesn't do anything for the theater. Yeah, there's no sort of middle place for us.
Yeah. Now, are you guys? I'm not sure. I know you guys were thinking about doing live shows on Zoom or one of those outlets.
Yeah.
Is it still happening?
So we were gonna try but the Italian chicks. It's more complicated than stand up. When I was talking about stand up before, because there's
Right.
singing and there's group numbers. So what was where
And
we
you
it got really
require
difficult
sound, you have
was
instruments and everything.
yeah, Marianne Maisano was really trying to find the right platform where we could like sing together, even if we were all separate. But I don't even think Zoom has caught up to what performers need if they're in different locations.
Right.
So that right now we had to put that show on hold because as much as we tried, we couldn't get it to come together the way we needed to. Well, look, even what happened right now, it's just me and you talking. And it was
Yeah.
still like, I was like, wait, no, not my phone. No, the laptop. No, an iPad. And this was just me
Right.
and you talking. And I mean, technology gets the best of you every time. So that's what we said. If we tried, God forbid, and the show started, and then it was a real, if we really couldn't get it together, we would have felt terrible.
I know. By the way, I love Marianne.
Yeah, she's the
You know,
best.
her and I have a side deal, right?
What did you do?
Her and I, we have a side deal.
Oh, you do? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. Well, it's basically, Marianne swings on the other side of the
Right,
tracks.
right.
So if she ever swings back, I'm gonna be the first one in line.
Okay, good, good. And listen, maybe after this pandemic, who knows? You could be on deck, Tony. Who know after everything that's gone on?
That's right. Nothing is what it seems like anymore.
Exactly. Anything is possible now. That much we know for
You know.
sure.
Well, also, one of the things I think that has been hard for everyone, it's the information disinformation type of deal.
Yeah,
I know that I know that things change also. I know that what was good that a month ago might not be good now,
right,
but the information is so unreliable right now. People there think masks work. Some people say no, they don't work.
right.
Other certain people don't work. If you touch a surface, it's okay. No, it wasn't. So I mean, mask or no mask, I'm gonna wear it just to be safe.
Me too. Me too. Me too. If it makes me feel, because at least it's something. Because I
Yeah,
definitely all of us doing nothing is kind of how we got into this mess. So if at least a mask does a little something, that's better than nothing. Because we saw what happens if we're not doing anything. It's bad.
yeah.
So you want to say, let's do something. Let's hope this, and maybe it's not the thing, but at least it's something. Now I'm happy to do it too. Oh, I wear a mask.
Well, do you know what convinced me with the mask?
What?
I mean, when you get surgery, you ever seen a surgeon without one?
No.
That's what convinced
There
him.
you
Like,
go.
okay, if he's wearing one not to spread germs, I'm gonna
Right.
wear it.
Right.
Now,
That's a good
don't get
point.
me wrong. Everybody is more than free to believe whatever everybody wants. I mean, maybe we're wrong, but just to be
Right.
safe.
And what's the worst thing if we are wrong? I think that's what I feel like. So what? Is it terrible if we're wrong if we do too much?
Yeah,
It's almost like let's
right.
try something.
Uh, so, what's in the cards for you in the future if things go back to normal?
Well, I mean, I would love to get back to the studio with the view. Like I said, over the summer, I did one drive-in show already. I have like a show outside at a golf club coming up. I have another show at a drive-in outside. So I do have more outside stuff like coming up. Hopefully more of that. I mean, I love doing audience warm-up. I hope we get back to a place where the view is open. I can be back at the view. I would even love to do more warm-up. I mean, it was funny when you were saying before, like I do so much behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
it's at least like then I'm still close to the action, and then all the important players, I feel like I still get to work with them, even if I'm not the face of what I'm doing. So I do
Well,
like the audience warm up.
yeah. When you guys reopen, I want to come and visit you over
You
that
have
show.
to come. You have to come. That would be so fun. We'd have a good time.
Maybe I bring my daughter with me.
Yeah, no, that would be great. That would be great.
No, it's what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, oh, also, I mean, during your shows, you guys all sing.
Yo, yeah, for the
Do you,
Italian chicks.
yeah. Have
Yeah.
you ever thought about maybe recording something on your own or no?
I mean, I feel like it's funny. Marianne believes that I feel like when I sing, it's a joke. I mean, you can hear this
Yeah,
voice. This is not a beautiful, these are not the dulcet tones, Tony. Like, I don't know if this voice screams beautiful
yeah.
singing voice. So, but I feel like for me, when I sing with the show, it's kind of like as a joke and it's silly. Marianne thinks if I tried, I could probably really sing, but I haven't tried that. Whenever I sing, it's just like for a joke or to be silly. She really
See,
sings. She has a beautiful voice.
yeah, I got the worst voice. Can you imagine me singing?
Maybe we should be doing a duet then, Tony. Maybe we're sing together.
But we should only sing the last song of the evening
Right, exactly.
when everybody needs to get the
Yeah.
hell out
Then
of
they'll
there.
be like, you know what? We'll go home. Thank you very much. This was enough.
Yeah, I think we should. We're gonna do a nice little duet.
We'll close it
Uh,
out.
so now, so how's married life? I mean, you've been married now for how long?
It was 5 years in September. So I mean, it's good. This time was very funny being with somebody like quarantined for so long. Like I said, I mean, it was tough at times, but we got through it, and now we can go outside
Wow.
again. So
Being on the road, has it been tough being a newlywed?
Um, yeah, I would say that too. It's funny. This is gonna sound silly. Before we got married, I was able to always like fall asleep in hotels fine by myself. And then I don't know if it was like once we were married and I would be on the road, I like had more trouble being by myself. So like I started like I would put white noise on my phone to like fall asleep. It was funny. Like it happened, it was very subtle, but all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, why it's weird for me now being in a hotel room alone where that was never weird before." So that was sometimes it's nice to go away and then, like to have that little time apart, like when they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. Not a lot of distance, but like a little bit is nice.
Because also it shouldn't be an issue, technically, but also for a woman, I think to go on her own, it's a little more difficult, I think, than for a
Yeah.
guy.
No, he really has to be
For
supportive.
safety reasons more than anything.
Yeah. No, I think he's supportive, but he always like knows where I am and like checks out where I'm staying. And sometimes my husband will come with me, but like because sometimes my parents will be like, "Oh, John's not gonna go with you," and then I'm like, "What? Do I go with him to work?" Like sometimes it's like not the same thing. People don't always want to come with you to do your job.
Right, right. Um, so but Regina, you've been great, and I really uh, appreciate you coming on. Uh, I miss you. I miss you
I miss you
tremendously.
too.
You know, but I can't wait to work with you again, the
Yes,
Italian chick.
same.
Uh, and if people haven't seen you, they definitely gotta come and check you out. I'm definitely coming to the view.
Good. You have to come to the, and everyone should come. Let's get back in the studio. Everybody who's watching, come to the view. Now you know me. Find me. Connect. Come to the view.
Absolutely. I'm gonna put this interview also on YouTube in just a bit if somebody wants to see it.
Great.
So if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to Tony Napoli Comedy on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, and on Tony Napoli channel on YouTube. So thank you so much,
Oh,
Regina.
thank you so much for having me. I miss you too. It was good to
I
have this
appreciate it.
conversation.
No, no, you'll be back on. I'm actually working on have a better set and hopefully a better sound
Right.
for everybody.
I
It,
know. I'm sorry
it
for
was,
all those difficulties.
oh no, don't worry about it. Trust me, this is no NBC's Studio
Right,
B.
right, right. It's so funny.
But at least it keeps me busy. You know,
Good. No, you.
that's
I think this is the most important thing you could do now. You're still being creative. You're talking to people. You're getting out there. You're exposing other performers. No, this means a lot that you do this. Even for you do it for yourself, but for all of us too. It means a lot, Tony. Honestly.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm not. I started doing it not so much for because I don't think I'm gonna gain who knows what kind of popularity by doing the
Right.
show, but also because there's so many great comedians out there, and I just wanted to expose them to my people. You know, people that they haven't seen before, and hopefully cross reference with other comedians,
Yeah.
and so they can see how many. Because honestly, the percentage of comedians that are so well known is so small
Yeah.
compared to what the industry has to offer.
It's true.
So, so thank you very much, Regina.
Oh no, thank
Uh,
you.
hello to John and
I,
the girls whenever you get to see them.
I will. I will.
All right.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
me.
everybody, and I'll see
Ciao,
you
ciao,
guys
everybody.
next
Bye.
week. Bye bye.